Alright, how's it going, guys? We are back. And I have been doing a little more work. We ran out of stone down here, so our stone mine has been removed. I still got to remove those yet. We got our... You can see we have 3 new trains. The stone is coming from up here because we already had it inside of the wall. There is another one right here we can grab if and when we need it, but I decided to grab that because it was already walled in, and that is being delivered here by this train. This is really horrible. I need to figure out a better way of doing this. It's because of where I put the copper one. If I move the copper one up just a little bit, I can do a proper cross there. But so far, with the signaling I have, everything is working fine. So we'll see. It's not the most efficient, I'm sure, but it does trick. Excuse me. The other thing we have down here is copper now, and I had a copper line running all the way down here, and we now have that just going right through here for our batteries. And I will probably be doing the same with the iron, which is coming snakily through here terribly, all the way from over here and then getting all the way over here. So I will probably drop another iron one here that'll come up, and that'll take care of the iron that we need here. I just haven't got to that yet. The stone comes in, splits here because we need stone down here for doing our oil stuff, and then we need stone down here obviously for everything else. I also ran the sulfur line over because the sulfur box here was full. You can see it's now empty. And it is actually coming in at the back end of this, so that this will never turn on as long as we have sulfur coming in. I also changed over this part here. I was noticing that the way that I had it originally set up wasn't working quite as well as I'd like. So I changed it over to this. And this one is just looking at the belt, same as before. And this one is set a little bit different. And if we run over there quickly, I can show that to you. And now that I've gotten through the most of the changes, what we're doing today is redoing part of this and looking at what we're doing next. Probably starting a little bit of research. So there probably isn't anything new going to be coming in today. Just working on a little cleanup action. Oh, I also did the thing of putting in another set of forestries down here and seeded them a little bit. This one here that was polluted has been reseeded and is not taking pollution anymore. Okay, so this one here is set to less than 6. So if there's less than 6 on this belt, then this one will open up and let it come through. Now, if you notice, things are coming off of the top of the belt. But the only thing that's running is this, and I'm not sure why that's happening. Because this inserter, there's no way of telling it to only take from the front or the back of the belt, it really should be taking from the back. That's the way things normally work. So I'm not quite sure why it's taking from the front of the belt, which is messing with things just a little. So I may have to see what I can do to fix that, to make sure that these are outputting. I'm actually debating on taking and putting in another one of these up here in this little gap we have right here, because that would also fix it. I can move this over one, but I'm not sure if that's what I'm going to end up doing or not, because these guys can't output except for onto the back side of that belt. And see, if they keep taking from the front side instead of the back side, it makes only the front side move, and then this is going to output, and these are never going to do their job. So, and I did try to do this. I could literally do it here, and that would work. See, that'll keep it full and let that thing keep moving. But doing it down here doesn't do any good because it has to be before this. But it just feels strange that I'm running off of one of them. So I guess I could literally do it at each one of these. Kind of like that. And I probably should have this one way over here anyways. But we're going to try that, see how that works. Because we really want the sulfur coming from here, not from down here. We've also managed to get some petroleum made. We have made a bunch of plastic. You can also see that we are running ethanol on both lines. That's because a lot of the work I did took a lot of rubber. And I also put in a buffer here for rubber, so this thing has been running like non-stop trying to fill up this rubber buffer. I just wanted to make sure that we always had rubber ready, and I didn't have to, make a whole bunch of these, since they're going to run and then stop for a long period of time. I figured this was a good idea for that, and you can see that we've got a pretty decent amount of plastic here, which we are going to send up here in just a few minutes so we can get some more circuits done. But there are a couple things I need to do before we do that. One, this has no power, has no fuel, because we don't want to use petroleum. That was a terrible choice for these, but I did continue that. The copper one technically didn't need one because it has steam over here where it should have it, but I didn't think about that when I set it up. So this one actually has has petroleum canisters and steam canisters, which shouldn't be a problem. But we don't really have any steam near this area. So what I'm thinking about doing for the fuel for that is batteries. We have our battery charging station right here. Problem is, I would love to use requester chest to where we could have logistic bots run them from one place to another, but that's not possible. We have storage chests and we have passive provider chests, which, as far as I know, passive provider chests will not go to storage chest. But we're going to make them and find out for sure. but I am almost positive this is not going to work. But we're going to put that there. We're going to connect that there. And for right now, we're just going to limit it down to that. Now, the one thing we can do is we can turn on this and we can put charge batteries, and we want to have, we're going to say 50. 50 sounds like a good round number to keep on me. So now they should provide me with them. And what we can do is we can change this box over to a storage box, setting its logistic filter to that, and then that should drop all of my batteries off into there, and we can set empty batteries to 0, 0. So as long as I am within this area, I have to be on the yellow stripe, orange stripe, whatever you want to call it, which I'm quite sure I will cross over from time to time. That'll take care of that. And I am going to put in a lot more of these, so I have a bigger net around here. But I am almost 100% sure that if I stick this here and I put charge battery there, they're never going to bring them, because this is a passive provider. This is not a requester. This is just storage. They're never going to do it. We could put this over here for the empties. If I put this here for the empties, no, that won't do anything either. They're just going to sit there. So we're literally going to have to run a belt. Well, 2 belts from there to there, which really kind of sucks. But it's what we're going to have to do. The other option, which now that I think about it might be a fun little option, would be to have a charging station. Alright, we might have just changed plans. I wonder if I can get this to work. What I'm thinking is, if I extend this track, we're just going to extend it up here for the moment. We'll connect it up there eventually, if this works. Because again, I'm not 100% this is going to work. But if we do this, and then we set up, we're going to grab a splitter, and I'm not going to need this anymore. That doesn't need to be there. We're going to put a splitter here. We're going to have to move this. And what we're going to do is we're going to move that. And you guys are now just going to start dumping stuff over here. Thanks. And you're going to keep dumping them over there. Yeah. Okay. Turn off my personal RoboPort for a minute. Give me those. Stop doing that. Stop touching me, bot. No means no. Okay. So we're going to put this here. And then we're going to run this out across here. Why? Why do you always do this to me? That is not what I wanted you to do. That is not where I wanted you to go. Stop being stupid. Alright, so this is going to come over here. And just for the sake of testing, we're going to plop that right there. And then we're going to put our passive provider here. So we have it. And we're going to get off of there for the moment. We're going to shove those in there. Give me these back so the bots don't go crazy. And we're going to put one of these in here. That'll work. And we'll get the power down here. So now that will charge it. And we're going to set up this. And we're going to need one of these. That'll fill it. And then, if we get rid of that, we'll grab one of these. That will fill it. And then, if we just do... We don't even need a chest here for this. We can just have this go like that. That'll pull out the empties. And then we can have this come back over here, which I'm out of underground, so we're going to use this just for the moment. And I'll go grab some other ones. This is where we're dropping at, so we want it to go here in a outwardly direction. And we can just do that to get across there. And then this is going to input into there. Okay, so now we want to limit this down. I don't have any red cables, which is what I like to use. So we're going to come down here and borrow some of these, throw back in these that I didn't mean to grab. So I can make me a set of red cables here. And now we want to limit this. We can't limit this. Loaders will not take those. So we just need to limit this back. Nothing's ever going to put in here except for that loader. Bots are not going to try to drop back off there. So that won't be an issue. We can just limit that back. Alright, so now let's see if this is going to work. We need to connect this up. Just do it a little dirty here real quick. So that's going to go that way, come back in, should come that way. Everything should be good. So now we're going to add a place here. So we're going to take that out and we're going to call this this is going to be our new one. And that should be that one. And then we're going to add the plastic pickup or drop off back in there. Stick drop off in there. And weight condition. Okay, empty. And here we're going to set it for time passed, inactivity, full, item count, fluid count, circuit condition, passenger present, passenger not present. Okay, so first thing we need to do is see if it can tell if it has batteries in the train. So that's the first thing we see. It's cargo though, and I'm 100% sure that's not going to work. Okay, so we could do time passed and just set it for 60 seconds. That is a possibility. Alright, so now, what do you have in here for? You have 5 batteries in there. Alright, let's take these out of here. And let's send you on to your next stop. Oh. We gotta fix that. So we need this guy to know that he can come out and go this way. Okay, we'll fix that in a minute. And where is that train going? There he is. Alright. So he's made it here. Empties are going out. Full ones are going in. He's up to 25, which is way more than he needs. It'd be really nice if we could block those. Okay, his time is way too far. Let's put him down to like 15 seconds. Because he does not need to be sitting there that long. This is going to end up, if I do this incorrectly, we're going to end up with a ton of extra batteries in all of these trains, which I guess isn't a horrible thing. Take that out of there. That is, yeah, we'll just do that. And then we need to change this one to one of those. That should be all fine for there. I'll have to do this up here, and we'll make this a proper T-junction like that. And my robots can then put in all of the signaling. Alright, so now he should have taken his butt right back down here as he should. Alright. So that is beautiful. That looks like it's working. Doing exactly what I need it to do. Now what we could do is we could change over all of the other trains that get to this area. We don't want to waste power by sending over, like, you know, this guy. This guy, one, isn't on this network anyway, so he wouldn't be able to get there. The tin ore is never going to get anywhere into this area, but the oil guy can. The oil guy is going to go right past here, so he could easily jump in there, fuel there, and go up. Same with the stone guy. He could do the same thing. The copper one wouldn't be terrible. Same with the iron. They're right here. They could come up here, fuel, and then head over here where they need to be. So that's a possibility of something I might end up doing. And I shouldn't need to put in, at least not for now. Eventually, yes. Eventually I should put in this over here and give it an actual train stop But since they're only stopping for 15 seconds, I don't think we need to do that right now because our trains aren't moving all the time. Okay, so we're going to set that back like that. And let's see, that is staying full up there like it should. And we're going to actually change this out just in case they want to drop off batteries, like if I ever end up getting too many of them. We also can get rid of that because that's not needed now. And now if I turn my logistics back on, they'll take those 26, they'll put them back where they belong. Everything is fine and dandy. Alright, so I think that is a rather good change, and that'll keep it to where we don't have so many batteries running on the belt. We do still have to have this little belt of it, but that's completely negligible for the moment. For anybody that watches our SE thing, this is kind of what I was wanting to work on there before that CyberSense or whatever logistics thing. I was wanting to try to prove to the guys that CyberSense isn't needed. You can do this without logistics trains. I don't have anything against logistics trains, but it takes away a little bit of the creativity. I'm sure somebody has done this before. I'm sure somebody has done this 100 times better than what I have. I'm pretty sure there's probably some way of figuring out if the train needs to be fueled or not. But I at least feel the accomplishment for working it out. And that's what's important when you're playing this kind of game, is that you're keeping yourself stimulated and not just going through the motions. That's why people get bored when they love a game so much that they play it so much that they just end up doing the same things over and over. With this, I'm not looking up how somebody else did it. I'm looking at how I can do it. And it's keeping me into doing it. And that's what drives me to do it. And I like that. Nothing against people that don't have the energy and shit. Don't start thinking I'm an asshole. I am an asshole. Anyways. Everybody has their own way of doing shit. This is my way of doing it. A lot of people don't like the fact that I do things slowly, but this is why I do things slowly. I like figuring it out. I like coming up with new ways of doing things that maybe has been done 100,000 times before, but it's new to me. And it being new to me is important to me. Alright, so we have those coming in there. I do want to go ahead and work on the actual circuits. We'll work on redoing this mess of whatever the hell you want to call this mess I made. But I do need to get circuits over here so I can start making storage boxes so my logistics bots can provide me things and stuff like that. So first thing we're going to do is get rid of this. And we're going to copy all of this. And we're going to just put it right here. Okay, so that, connect that, that's the wrong belt, Goofus. And then here we actually do want to put in that splitter, and we want to set this to red only. Like that. And this is going to be a bit of a pain because we're not going to get reds through there if the greens can't go anywhere. Yeah, we're just going to get rid of that. And we're just going to let those feed those. And then we'll put this in up through there. We're out of those poles, so we're going to have to use the better ones. The bigger ones. There we go. And then that gives us red belts, which we can now run over this way. And I was thinking about using a train for this. The problem is that we kind of need them right in this area, so we would have to do the drop off like right here, and it's not really that long for a train. So we're just going to run this belt over here. That will give us a nice buffer for our... Oh, you are going to be a turd, aren't you? Yes, you are. And I'm still out of undergrounds because I still forgot to grab them. This is why we need to get these over here so I can get logistics spots bringing me my belt stuff, because I never have enough belts. And we can just run this right on down through here. And we don't need this anywhere in the early part of that. We only need it for down where the logistics stuff is, and whatever we do below that, or beyond that, I guess. So we're going to bring it to about here. There we go. And don't stand on the tracks. You will get ran over, stupid. Alright, so there we go. So with that, we can actually set up one of these that can then put those in there to make us our storage boxes. And so then we can just have one of these over here, which once we get some of the red ones in here, which I've got a few on me here, so then we can take that one and we can put it right there. We can connect this to that. We can tell this that this is only ever for the storage boxes, and that we want the inserter to only insert if that, and we're going to say probably 20 of them. So if it's less than 20, it'll input into that box. You can change this to everything, but I had a bit of issue with it. I did that a while back in this series, and I had an issue with it. So we're not going to do that for this one. We're going to set it to the actual thing. And then we can also do that same thing for this. And again, set that like that. And we can copy and paste. And then just change this over to steel. So now that will only keep us steel ones in here. And it'll shut off if we have... But actually, we don't want this down to 20. Since we use these for our loaders, we're going to set this to a nice round 50. So then whenever I set up a new train, they can go and pick those up and be able to put them in for me. I can also set them in my logistics if I want to keep them on me. Alright, so I think that's going to be good for today. I'm going to go around and add these to a lot of things and start putting out enough of these to pretty much cover at least this entire area here. That way everything that I want to add, mainly belts, so I will definitely be coming down here and putting them on all of these things right here to catch our belts. Now for research, I think we are going to work next on getting this done so we can get our substations. That's also going to give us the junction box, and I think we need that for something later. So we're going to go ahead and start that research up and get that done. We do have power armor coming up, so that'll be nice. Our belt is filling up nicely. And since we're making so many batteries, we should be making more sulfur, which means we're making more plastic. So we should be getting more plastic in here. We've got 242 of it made. And how are we doing with our wood? We're not getting much up here. This has to get to about half before we start getting any up there, but it's working. And that's going down. I think next time we might work on getting the turrets made for that can use light fuel. These right here, flamethrower turrets. I think we might work on those. That way we can put those around some of the hotter areas. We'll probably run around the whole wall, but we definitely wanted it some of these hotter areas here. And that'll let us burn off some of this light oil that we have everywhere. Anyways, y'all have a good one. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.